Okay, let me explain. It is 11:44 p.m. on the 10th of June, 2017. It's a Saturday night. Exactly 10 years ago, at this time, at 11:44, this little doggy passed away. On way to go see where to bring him, as he was in a little bit of an agony, my sister came here thinking this was the hospital, with my mother holding little Jasper in her hands in the back seat of the vehicle, Ford Explorer. This dog Jasper, at 10 years old, 10 years ago, passed away. Jasper P. Johns. My sister was looking for the place that was on Sepulveda and Pico. This happened exactly 10 years ago, right now, June 10th, 2007, at 11:45 p.m. They reached this corner where the Sepulveda Animal Hospital is, thinking this was the place that they had to be at, which was in fact the wrong place. This is at Culver Boulevard in Sepulveda. They had to keep going on Sepulveda, and just shy of Pico on the right side is the VCA, where this dog would have been gone by then anyway. So he died right in this area 10 years ago. A dog by the name of Jasper. And I wanted to be here 10 years later to say, hello, little Jasper. You're okay, buddy. You're in heaven. 10 years you're gone. They found him in an alleyway up on La Cienega and Ardmore. La Cienega Boulevard and Ardmore Street. Here at 4300 Sepulveda, the Sepulveda Animal Hospital, this was mistaken for the place my sister was trying to bring him to. He had been in pain, he had cancer, he had had a leg removed, right rear leg, because of problems that reoccurred from a plate that was put in there. Here he is as the actual employee of the year, this little doggy, from Standby Parts in El Segundo. This dog was so wonderful, and I gotta tell you, it coincides with everything I have here with my little doggy, who passed away May 22nd of this year. That was little Frankie. There he is. You see? Little Frankie passed away. And just today I met a man walking in the street that had a dog that looked just like Frankie, that was ailing from some things, some problems. But we're remembering mainly the little guy named Jasper. Jasper P. Johns. He's the little guy, a little Australian Shepherd dog, who was about 75 pounds, 80 at best, but went down and lost some weight. He had been at, just days before Mother's Day of 2007, at the place where my dog had an operation on City of Angels Access, Duquesne and Jefferson Boulevards in Culver City. But let me tell you something. This hospital was mistaken for the one that they really needed to go to that day, which was what? It was the hospital by the name of VCA. That's up the road a piece there. And I'm going to bring you there right now. So, Jasper, we're going to make it there tonight for you, 10 years later, that you'll be able to be in the hands of doctors. But they say, my sister and mother say, that he wouldn't have lived anyway. He died right around here somewhere. Right around here. In my mother's hands, in the back seat of my sister's Ford Explorer, the same one she has now. Because they couldn't make it in time to the place by the name of VCA. They thought that that was the place back there. So basically what happened was that they misjudged the place, didn't know where they were, and wound up the dog dying. But what would have happened anyway? Would have he lived anyway? How long would have he went if they didn't have him that night pass away in my mother's hands in the back seat? He just collapsed and took his last breath. And you wonder, would have he lived any longer? I doubt it. So we're still on Sepulveda, passing Washington Boulevard. We're on the way to the place that my sister and mother were looking for. They were looking for this place. And that night, I was on the phone as he passed away, little Jasper. I was on the phone with my friend, my artist friend, Marcus Boas in Greenwich Village, talking to him about things, and I didn't go out that night. I had been with the dog for months, all through April, May, into June of this 2007 back then, and I was taking care of the dog. But that night I was so tired that my mother and sister said, he's not feeling good, we're going to take him to the doctors. And like I say, back there, they couldn't find the right hospital, which we're going to now. So what they did was, they got lost back there at Culver Boulevard and Sepulveda Boulevard, and it became the place where he passed away. That's where Jasper passed away, right in that area. But as we travel on here, we'll travel on with you, Jasper. We'll travel on a little bit, honey, because it's your night, it's your 10th year anniversary that you've went to heaven, and I'm sentimental like that. I just keep things going. It is June 10th, 2017. 10 years ago exactly now, somewhere between 11:45 and midnight, June 10th, 2007, Jasper passed away in the hands of my mother in the back seat of my sister's Ford Bronco, which she still owns, by the way. And it was just a night that I didn't go out with my sister. Had I went out, that dog would have passed away in my hands. He would have passed away just the way he passed away with my mother. She was holding him in the back seat. She says that he just let out his last breath right in her hands. My mom used to call Jasper Jibby. Come on, Jibby, come on, let's go, But I just want to share these moments with people. Here we are at Queensland and Sepulveda. And it just became a thing. Just the other day I noticed that it would be 10 years tonight that Jasper passed away. Just incredible how fast things are moving. And you say to yourself, my God in heaven, where did that 10 years go? Where did that 10 years go? What would have been had the dog lived? Would have he been in more pain? He had some problems. He had a leg removed about 2 years earlier, or maybe even was it 4 years earlier. And that leg coming off in the right rear was due to the fact that the plate that was put in a year before didn't work out. And I tell you, when that dog had that leg removed, he walked out of that hospital walking on 3 legs like it was nothing. He was a little champion. And I just want to take you straight down here, Sepulveda, towards Pico, so we could get to the VCA hospital and share that moment with where they were headed to that night that they never made it to. And God bless the little guy, man. I tell you, I had a lot of good times with Jasper P. Johns. He was a wonderful little dog. He would come into the office where we worked every morning, and the office before. My sister and brother-in-law's standby parts. There was a place that sold aircraft parts, and he would greet everybody, He would come in and greet everybody. He was just an amazing little doggy. Let's talk about him with a picture on there. Let's take a picture of him. There he is. Here he is at Standby Parts, Employee of the Year 1998. Isn't that cute? Jasper P. Johns. A real beautiful gentleman dog. He was 10 years old when he passed away. And basically, they found him in the alleyways of La Cienega Boulevard near Ardmore in May, or was it April of 2007. So just about 10 years later, he was gone, you know, he had died, and right in the hands of my mother. A real unbelievable story, you know, the way he died. And we're going to be passing the hospital, VCA, where he was supposed to be brought to that day. And it's coming up soon, because we're on Sepulveda, and we got to go by near Pico. This is a hospital that dogs and cats go to. It's a 24-hour emergency, and it's basically not just emergency. It's a clinic. It's a place that, you know, dogs and cats go to. And we're almost there. You can see it in the distance. VCA, Animal Hospital. And here we are, little guy. We're pulling up to it. I'm going to park right near it. Here's where it is. This is the building. This is the place you were going to be 10 years ago. But what happened is that you didn't make it. You didn't make it. You passed away along the way. And I want to remember you in this moment. I want to remember you right outside here. Let's go out there. Let's see what we got here. Right about now, 11:56, you would have been passed away 10 years ago. So let's go outside with the picture, and let's just reminisce and take a picture of you here. And there's the hospital. That's the place you would have been at had you been. They found it. If my sister and mother would have found the place, they would have brought you here. Pico Boulevard over there, and Sepulveda over here. So basically, let's talk about this 24-hour emergency. They were headed there 10 years ago, Jasper. They never made it, and you passed away over by the other hospital, which they mistook for this one. And here we are with the new car and everything there. And of course we got an audience looking at us, slowing the whole process down of everything I want to do, as usual. You know, there's a doggy going in. They're walking him. Hopefully the dog's okay. But Jasper, this is where you were, honey. This is where you wound up a couple of times. I think this is where they had the leg removed. Right there. Jasper P. Johns. Let's give him a little light here. Let's give him a little light. Here you go, Jasper. 10 years ago, Jasper, you passed away. We love you, honey. We'll never forget you. Okay? Ah, yeah. I gotta tell you, I get sentimental, don't I? And I never forget animals and things like this, because I feel that there's a situation here that tells me to be good to these animals, you know? To be good to these animals. And I'm always looking at it that way. I'm always looking at it that this is the way to remember things, you know, like that. Jasper P. Johns here 10 years ago. 1900 Sepulveda South, I guess Missouri and Sepulveda, that's Pico. I just believe that I was meant to be here tonight. I was meant to do this tonight. To come over here and be right near that hospital. Thinking about him, you know. And it's a thing that a lot of people look at that it's strange, but I don't. I feel that, you know, I want him to be here 10 years later. I want to reminisce. I want the little doggy to know that I love him a lot. I want him to know that. We love you, Jasper. Look at that. Signing off. 10 years gone.